what wakes up first?
Awareness.
Okay, explain me.
I just know I am there. I don't know where. What.
When you wake up, what comes then? Then comes your dreams, and then you wake up into this world. What wakes up first? This world, the dreams, or awareness?
That's a good question.
Okay. You see, when you are unconscious at night, immediately with a split of a second, the light of consciousness opens up. That's a split of a second. Immediately, then you come into a dream state. Then you see all different dream realities. And then you come back into this world. So what wakes up first? Yes. And without the awareness, does the dream world exist? Does this world exist?
No.
So you're just laying unconscious without the awareness.
I would say the dreams.
How?
I'm not aware I'm dreaming.
Yeah, but when you're dreaming, there is somebody seeing the dreams. Yes. So what wakes up first? The seeing or the dreams?
Sorry, what?
The seeing or the dreams?
The seeing,
Yes.
But I'm not aware of it when I begin to dream.
Yes.
If it's after a while, then okay.
Okay, but my question is, who wakes up first? The seeing or the dreams? Yes. Without the seeing, can there be any dreams? No. Some dreams you remember better, some dreams are more fuzzy, but there is somebody that sees them.
But at that time, you're not, as Bruno says, you're not aware of the phase going from the dream state to this world. It's first afterwards you realize you were in a dream state.
Now, realization is completely different matter. Seeing is always first.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yes. Your understanding, realization is a different matter. If you would truly understand what I am saying now, you would be at 1000 immediately. So now you're trying to understand, and I am saying simply realize there's such a simple truth that seeing always comes first. Because without the seeing, nothing exists.
It's always here.
Always here.
But I get that. But as Bruno says...
That's it.
It's always here.
Yeah. But it's without when you're in the dream, you first know you were in the dream.
No, that is the degree of your awareness of what you were dreaming, why you were dreaming, and maybe a lucid dreaming or not lucid. This is not important. My question is, somebody is seeing those dreams. Figure out who is that somebody who is seeing those dreams.
That is completely contactless.
Exactly. This is why it's called relative real reality. It completely doesn't matter, like, relatively speaking, well, absolutely speaking, it really doesn't matter. Relatively speaking, it matters. Absolutely speaking, it really doesn't matter what is happening. Because all of it is happening in the seeing. Whether we cry, whether we laugh, whether we dance, whether we fight, whatever we do, that in that seeing, of course it's nice to do nice things, so that is the relative reality.
Because that sounds like a goldfish waking up. No,
Like,
it's not-
like
it's
a
not weird.
goldfish waking up?
Yeah, it's a little bit like that. You're in the dream, the seer is there. So the seer don't question the dream, it's not questioning anything.
Okay, now these are theoretical questions. I only invite you in your own time to navigate back to the seer. The theoretical conceptual understanding is not important. That is just content. The such a simple fact that you see is the absolute truth there is. Of course, then you get intermingled. What I see, what is the content, why is like this, why it's not like that. I like it this way, I don't like it that way. Everything is important because that is the relative reality. That is the content. That is the content. The context, seeing.
Is there anything beyond this view?
That is the source. Now, if you were, okay, I will raise the question that is a very deep question, which I dare you should ask me. And the question is, but how come the unconsciousness is also there when you sleep? Because then nothing exists when you're unconscious. That is 800s. That is the causality, the causal space, the causal body, the universal dark matter, the universal dark energy, the universal void, the universal womb. Okay? That is the universal womb out of which the manifested universe arose. When you sleep, you unconsciously you are actually in 800s.
Nice.
Uh-huh.
So let's stay sleeping.
I did try that. I can honestly say I realized that, being unconscious is a lot better than being aware of the difficulties here.
On a relative.
In a relative way. But you can't escape it. You can't escape. You're always gonna wake up. If not there, here, even if you would take your life, you will wake up somewhere else. In 4D, 5D, somewhere else, in another body, you will be born. You can't escape it. Because life only changes the form. When you pass away, you only change a form. Your soul changes a form. If you understand soul, this body, if it passes away, your soul still exists. You can't escape it. So when you are unconsciously sleeping, you're actually in 800s. But if you want to truly be free, then you have to come to the seer. And even this language, the seer, is still a bit dualistic, because the seer, the seeing and the seen are the three modalities which still exist within the absolute self. So when I say the seer, truly I mean the absolute self. Not the object, the process and the subject. the subject, process, and object. So there's such a simple truth that you see is the absolute self. Now the degree of your realization and the degree of how real that is to you is the degree of your level of consciousness. The more you realize that, the more you are that seer, the higher you realize yourself and the higher realization is, and integration.
Now the saying that the truth is here, so it takes that back, starts to make sense.
Yes.
One question on kind of the seeing when you are on that level, which you can be, I guess, maybe swiftly on a lower level when you meditate. Like you can or sense that there is nothing else than just awareness.
If you can meditate only on the awareness, that is the ultimate meditation.
Yeah.
But you will be very excited with what comes up in that awareness. Most of the time you're engaged in the energies, in the thoughts, in the energies, in the spaces, exploring the universe, wherever it goes. So you are in the content.
And you get caught up in the wows.
You can spend billions of years exploring the universe, experiencing experiences.
So it's all noise on the way to just that.
Yes. I would say these are all distractions. But of course, in the relative reality, this relative self is there.
But let's say I could be there in meditation, or let's say someone like you who's there then. When you then engage in a discussion with us, and you, well, then maybe you don't think. Yeah, because if you start thinking, you get away from that. So so a thought, as soon as you get a thought, you're out of it.
Yes.
Okay.
So since you're at a higher level, I mean, I think you can go and so let's say
Everything
you want to go back and explore a bit more. You can if you want to, right?
Everything happens in the seeing.
Yeah, but you can explore it.
Who is exploring?
Yes.
The explorer.
See the explorer.
Okay, who is exploring? The explorer or the one or the seer?
Seer.
No, the way you are describing is the explorer. But I can still go and explore. Of course, do whatever you want. It happens in the seer.
Should I go that?
It's okay. Anything you do in this life, next time, previous lifetime, any other billions of other further lifetimes, it happens within the seer, within the seeing. It's just the content.
So your content that you get triggered by in life, whatever it be, is just lower frequencies that need healing and transmuting.
Yes.
Nice. Simple.
Yeah.
Clear.
Yes.
So because that gets you out of the seeing, you're down in the content. You're like,
Yes. Relatively speaking, you have to overcome them so that you're more harmonious, so that this form feels better. But ultimately speaking, well, it just happens. Whatever happens, happens.
just watch what content you're getting quite involved in.
Yes, don't get too involved in the content.
You've still got things to clean out in your healing camp. You have to.
That's fine. That's fine.
You have to get that one.
You do what you need to do. That's fine. There is no problem with that. Just always remember the seeing. Okay.
What if one just naturally just drop whenever the content is seen, just rest and drop the content.
That's what happens. Whatever is not necessary is dropped.
So you don't have to, you may not feel the need to process trauma.
If you don't feel the need, don't do it. If it's here and it bothers you and it it distracts you, do it. You do what is in your present moment, what is important to you, relatively speaking. Absolutely speaking, seeing is the only thing important.
And that's ever happening.
And that's the ever happening. Although you do want to harmonize your body, harmonize yourself, so that you live more comfortably within that seeing.
Don't we have to, or myself, watch for a bit of spiritual bypassing there then? I'm sitting in awareness, I'm fine.
If you can sit in the awareness, then you wouldn't complain about anything else.
That's what I mean all the time, yeah. I know.
Yes.
I know. Yeah. But I'm just
Although relatively speaking, if something is triggering you, well, it means there's some work to do. Or still, things are happening. Yes. There's a constant harmonization.
And some can be dropped quickly, as Saeed said, and some
need time to heal and process, yes.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yes. I would say seeing is absolutely number one. Whatever happens, happens. Relatively speaking, it is important because it happens. And if you have any difficulties, the more you get accustomed to the healing process, the better it will be. The more you will know how to heal yourself, the better it will be. The more you know how to harmonize yourself, the better it will be. Because we naturally, energetically speaking, we want to live more harmoniously. That is the natural evolution in this universe. But in the Absolute Self, everything already is as it is.
So when you're in 500s for a while,
yes,
is there some kind of space in there where you think you're in awareness but you're not? Because you spend a lot of time in 500s.
In 500s,
oh,
you're just not even halfway through.
You feel you have, though. It's just part of you that thinks you're sorting loads of stuff out.
The 500s is just a honeymoon.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
But then the marriage and life
happens
after the honeymoon.
Lifetime bliss.
But then as you go through life and the marriage, then you may, then you hit the reality, yes, which is 600s. Then you hit the reality. And then the 700s is you hit the maturity of reality.
So what is it you experience when you think? Because the first question you had was my question, and that was my second question now. Exactly what you're saying. And I'm wondering too.
So what's your question?
Yeah, because when you feel that you might be in awareness, but you cannot be possibly in that low level,
you can be there, if you're in 400s, 500s, or even 600s, you can be there for a few seconds. If you can be for a minute, that would be already a deep sustaining state. If you can be for 10 minutes, you're going to be enlightened. But for a few seconds, anybody can be there for a few seconds. But then immediately you're pulled back into, oh, what's the question? Oh, what does this do or that do? You're immediately pulled back into the mind, back into trying to understand it, back into trying to keep it, back into some sort of contraction.
Content.
Some sort of content.
And just see it.
Yes.
But when you ask the question because you feel you are there, what is it that you feel if you're not even halfway?
Some illusions in 500s, isn't it? Some fakey stuff going on.
Yes.
I think you're there.
Okay, let's come back to further inquiry. So, to them, yes. Huh? And
Yeah, it was a really good one today because it was a new experience this time. Because like I had this split of seeing, which was new. I could see at the same time awareness as awareness. In front, I was like dealing with or releasing like this tiredness that I had. But usually tiredness used to be or like I'm tired. But this time I could see just the energy in front and awareness taking care of it. And as that happened, then like I could feel like you were giving a full consciousness transmission. Because I could feel, okay, awareness and full consciousness. So I was in 3 places at the same time. I could see that part, awareness, and full consciousness. And I'm aware of them at the same time. So it was very new for me to experience that.
yes, yes.
Yeah, that was the highlight.
Okay, yes, very good.
And I have a question actually.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because full consciousness, of course I can like see it, I can be in it, but I can't sustain it. Yeah, I can't sustain it. I can be in it because I fully recognize it. And my question, like, okay, right now I am in the process of integrating full consciousness.
Yeah, because you realized it completely. Oh, that's what it is. So first comes opening and realization, and then follows a process of integration.
So, like as you were saying, on like at the other levels of consciousness, you can like sustain it for a few seconds. And same full consciousness, I can't be there at all times, but it's like coming through, and slowly. It might take some.
You see, when you open up to full consciousness and when you realize it, absolutely speaking, you are done. Relatively speaking,
You're not done.
you're not done.
I see that. I see that now so clearly. And before this was a whole illusion. Thinking, if I'm going to open to full consciousness, I am done. And that's what came after the full opening of a lot of unacceptance. Because I had this great illusion that if I would open full consciousness, I'm going to be done. But it's not true, it's not real. Because I can't sustain the full consciousness at all times yet. Okay, now I fully see it, so now I fully accept and embrace it.
Yes.
Because there is clear seeing of it. But up until that moment, it was a trickster. It was a big trickster.
Yes.
So yeah, now that sounds like I'm fully accepting
Yes.
because I fully see it. So that's okay now.
Because absolutely speaking, if let's say you would pass away, you are done. Soul realized it, you realized it, you are done, you are free. Relatively speaking, since we are in the very lowest, densest dimension and vibration on 3D, the integration needs to take place. Because that consciousness from the, beyond 12D needs to come into the 3D and stay here. that is a huge task. It's not bringing heaven on earth, it's bringing God on earth.
Now it's like I'm fully in peace with that.
Yes, yes.
Because that's why, like, there was like a lot of fighting inside me, because whenever I was having some movement, like now I see it.
Like, why is it happening?
There was a fight inside me, because I'm like, why is this happening?
Yes, yes.
Why? You know?
Yes, yes.
But now I see why, and it's like, yeah, it's so clear why.
Mm.
So it's a big relief.
Yes. Any guru, any teacher, they always say that a guru, a teacher needs to keep their focus on the self. They always constantly need to keep their focus on the self. Because that's how, by placing constant focus, attention on the self, they're always within the self, and they're doing the best thing that they can possibly do being here.
Yeah, but for that, I can still see that to practice and to integrate, one needs to fully retreat and stay in, because easily life brings you in a way out of that full consciousness.
Yes,
it
but
integrates and strengthens.
yes. But life never makes a mistake of how you need to realize that.
Yeah, that was really good insight.
Yes, yes, yes.
And one more thing, as you return back, as you said, like, bring awareness there to those layers, I could feel like a different texture to it, you know? And yeah, it was really profound, and I could feel that opportunity of integrating more, that
Yes,
transition
yes,
coming back.
And by placing constant attention, focus, awareness on the self, there is a constant automatic harmonization happening. Because this is how the universe is designed. And this is why the Guru says, I am doing nothing, because the universe is doing everything on its own, by itself, through that constant harmonization. Relatively speaking, even placing awareness, attention on the self already happens automatically with a certain maturity. Like for me, there is no question where my awareness should be placed, because it's always there, it's always automatically there. And it's a constant harmonization which flows. There are those degrees of that presence, consciousness light. You know, if you are, you know, walking down the street, or if you are doing some work, you know, maybe some of your attention is needed in that moment, depending on what you do. But when you are sitting in a satsang, or when you are, you know, just when you dedicate much more time just for that, it quickens, we can say, a progress. Although still, you know, there's no escapism, you know, because I would never choose to go into a cave. You know, it's simply not my life to sit in a cave, you know. I still enjoy much more being with people than sitting alone in the cave, you know. What's the point? You know, I can still be focused within the self, even chatting with everybody, you know, and doing everything I do.
Because it's strong within you and quite stabilized.
But it's who you are. It's who you are, you know. Yes, it's who you are. In somewhat degree, you know, this is a much bigger challenge for enlightenment than retreating, sitting in a cave.
That's why I want to go retreat. It's easy.
Yes, but life tells you, you know, you're so capable, you know, you can do so much. You know, you are needed here. I'm not needed in a cave, I know that. You know, when I choose to be here, it's a lot more challenging. You know, with all the life circumstances and people, it's a lot more challenging. And it's just who I am, it's just what is here. It's a lot more difficult, you know, to be around other people at all their different levels of consciousness and try to relate to them in their own language than saying, okay, I'm gonna sit in a cave and only those who are ripened enough come to me. You know, that's an easy way. Try to stay with people who are like in 200s and 300s and 400s with all their craziness and all their illusions and all their things. It's a lot more difficult enlightenment.
You can help them, you know, because you know more, so you can help them. It's beautiful.
Yes. It's a bigger challenge for a teacher, you know. For a teacher, it's a bigger challenge to be with everybody, rather than to be completely retreated and just those who wish, you know, who are truly wish to come, they come in a completely retreated way, you know.
Maybe let her take a little break so she can taste it and get it out of her system.
I'm speaking of stability here.
Yes,
I'm
yes.
not escaping.
No.
I agree with that.
Because you know, you can rest, you can stabilize,
Only for that.
but you're still who you are, you know, you're still who you are. A cave is not meant for you, you
I'm
know.
not wanting to go to
I know. No, rest, stabilization, you know, integration is helpful. Yes, yes.
What if to retreat from the world for a while to stabilize in full consciousness?
That is the exact language of 900s. This is why it's called the hermit, the one who retreats. You know, in order so that they can stabilize and stay and integrate. But I'm speaking in a bigger context that not everybody is meant to sit in a cave. And sitting in a cave is a lot easier in many ways, because you separate yourself from the world, from the challenges of the world, and from all other unconscious or lower conscious people. So I would say I truly admire those who can be with people and find ways to help them. That is self-actualization. Self-realization is getting there. Integration, yes, but actualization is making it fruitful. And then you have to come out of that cave and just to help people the best way you can. So it's, you know, everybody's unique at the same time. So what is your way, it's totally fine. It's no judgment. If somebody's sitting in a cave, it's fine, you know, let them be there. Maybe that's their way. It's just a lot more difficult to sit not in a cave, you know, to be especially in the Western world. It's a lot easier to be in India, you know, it's a lot more difficult to be in the Western world. Okay, so we deviated a bit and let's come back to inquiry. Okay.
Oh, I forgot. Kind of kidding. going into this, I was a bit tired, so as we were meditating, because of my fatigue, I was just going into nothingness. But at the same time, I was aware of what you were saying, but at the same time, kind of in this nothingness. And that's more or less where I kind of was going in and out.
And that is totally fine. And when you are in that nothingness, try to remember that you already are experiencing, seeing it, being aware of it. Just put that, intention to always remember to check it, to remember it. It is totally fine if you come into beingness or presence or nothingness, the non-dual space, or wherever you go, it's totally fine. Just always remember to remember that you already see even the void, even the nothingness, even the everythingness. That remembrance will make sure that you will always return and always will anchor more into.
So you're actually proposing a very active abidance and awareness all the time?
A very active abidance in finish.
Awareness all the time?
Yes.
As a doer?
At first as a doer until it becomes automatic. But as a doer, can you be awareness as a doer? Because when you are awareness, there is no doer.
Well, while I'm doing it, I'm awareness of a doer.
You need effort to get there, but when you're there, there is no effort. If you contract back, then you need effort to come back to awareness. So the effort is needed only to come back to that place of awareness, seeing.
The reason I'm inquiring about this is because in the past I'd be very actively doing it.
Okay. Surrender any effort.
But now it's kind of more, my approach is more soft.
That's nothing to do with softness. Surrender the effort, stay as a seer, as awareness. An effort might be needed, and in your case, fine, no effort. That might be a way of surrender to the seeing. If you try very much, the trying may become an obstacle.
Yes.
If you can surrender, whatever way helps you, be creative. Whatever way helps you to stay there, just do it, stay there.
Yeah, for me it's just sort of like a noticing that it's not, and you can just be there.
Yes. Anything flows, anything comes, let it all be. Just stay there, whatever way you can get there and whatever way you can remind yourself to get there. Whether through action or non-action, through effort or surrender. Every duality will fall.
With the light of awareness.
In the light of awareness. is it? Something more? There's nothing more. You know, mentally you may say, okay, I would, you know, maybe there would be something more, but that is not needed. What is needed is just to abide, just to be there. Okay, very well. I can see it's taking like, so, you know, rooting. Within you it's rooting, integrating. Because now you can clearly see the content, effort, no effort, doer, no doer, everything falls just to return to that awareness. Okay. What you would like to share? What was happening?
During the meditation, like, it was a bit of clearing, I felt, and expanding. And after the meditation, there was a lot of integration. Like, I thought, it's not finished, but I need to stop. A bit of fear, not that integration.
Okay. Yes. All right. Mm-hmm.
Meditation, I was aware of your voice, but, and I remembered about the breath, the breathing. I don't remember
How about awareness?
the rest. I don't know what you were talking. Yeah, I was not conscious of
How about awareness now?
now.
Yes. Don't try anything. Don't try anything.
Yes, no, I didn't understand well.
Let's see awareness now together. Let's see awareness now together. Stay within yourself. Stay within yourself. Don't try. Without any desire, without any wanting. Just to simply be here with yourself. No effort, no desire, no wanting. Just sitting here, it's just me, it's just you. Just you, normal you, natural you. I can still feel some, you know, effort, desire, wanting. That is obstacle. That is actually an idea that you don't have something, and therefore you want something. So energetically there is a desire, there is wanting.
I can feel it.
Yes.
But I don't know the root of that.
That's fine, that's fine. So being yourself, say, okay, there is a desire. Don't try anything, yes? Just a few moments, don't try anything, and just to recognize, don't try anything at all. Just to recognize that you already are seeing the effort or no effort. you already see the desire. That's it. That moment was that moment. That's the aha moment.
That's the awareness.
That's the awareness. You have to, in a relative way, you have to let go of desire, of wanting, so that you're more balanced, just you as you are, and awareness will be a lot easier. But you can drop into it. And what do you see now? Like something, you recognize that there is a pulling, like something is pulling, or you want to receive something, you want to get something.
Yeah, it's here maybe.
Yes.
Sensation.
Yes.
Feeling is.
Yes. Feel abundant here. Feel abundant here. Give a few moments to be here, to allow. That's where your soul is integrating. Through the chest, through the heart. Feel abundance here and feel the golden light here. So that you complete the wanting. But the soul needs to just feel the abundance here. Yes. You need to integrate the energetics first. Feel abundance here, the golden light in your head, your chest. Just stay like that. Stay here. I'm gonna come to Jan. Yes. Where are you? What you're experiencing now?
Amazing.
Amazing. What? Happiness, joy, bliss.
No, nothing like that. Now I do. What you asked. You gave me content. No, this was your questions and was fantastic. Exactly, you put the goalpost that I was searching for and realized I had it in the pocket.
Yes.
So now I know what to feel for instead of searching for.
Yes.
So and I have feeling into that. Always was I was sitting here wondering. So I don't know the difference between, because this was very harmonious meditation, very harmonic, and I just kind of relaxed into some loving comfort. So my body is just mushed away in love, and I don't feel it, and it's nice. And that I don't know what this space for awareness, I didn't know. But I don't have any, today I didn't have any energy that was making me aware of that in my body. So I was in nowhere land, amazing light, oh, nice. And I was wondering, is that camping somewhere? Because I'm not looking now.
Just
So,
let it be, stay there, enjoy.
yeah, and that's what I realized.
Yeah,
I should
no,
just be there.
just be there, no rush.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was about to say, well, this was just a nice meditation. It was just a pause in my work.
No.
Pause is the work.
No rush, stay there. Yeah. If you feel amazing, stay feeling amazing.
Yeah. So thank you so much. It's always more simpler than I
Yes. just stay there, enjoy. Okay?
I had a new experience as well. Kind of, at one point I felt the dropping experience, like when a plane goes in an air pocket and you feel that, it gives it an joy, you feel like your chest stays up here in your own belly. And then at one point, it felt like, the movie Terminator, when that metal being just melts in the ground and becomes it. I felt like that. I felt like I'm melting and becoming part of the ground, part of something, merging into something. And it felt good,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then coming back, I was getting that back. So, wanting to bring it back because it felt like it was something good. So, so I was just kind of feeling, putting the energy back in my hands, my legs, in my breath.
Okay, yeah. Beautiful, perfect. You're surely on your most optimal path.
Is it?
Yes. No doubt.
Okay.
I say really no doubt.
Okay.
Yes.
And also I wanted to add that it's good to go in a cave sometimes, because I went in the Jarishini cave and it was beautiful.
Yes.
So there may be rests, breaks.
Yeah, to rest, recover, balance, integrate. Good, perfect. One more last question, if anybody has. Last question. Okay. Let it be silence. Just a few moments. Whether you need effort, whether you can simply surrender, any way. Just simply recognizing what is here already. And when you're ready, you can come back. May all beings be happy and free.